Making beats is so cool because anybody can do it. It's really about just knowing the software. If you master FL Studio, you are going to make great beats. Take a free one and learn it before you dump $200 into the producer edition of FL Studio.
808 Mafia Ash.
808 Mafia Ash.
Went from being the woodwind section leader in marching band, and now he produces under 808 Mafia, the same collective behind Future, Drake, Kanye, Travis Scott. Somewhere in between marching band and trap beats, he discovered something special. Today we're going to talk about 808 Mafia Ash.
It's always worth at least a shot.
That is the single worst thing you can do. Not ever try. Just start. Your phone's great. How did the 808 Mafia deal come up on you?
I met my connection at the Ritz. I parked his car. It was a black Jaguar F-Pace. He gets out saying that he was late for a reservation at the steakhouse. He asked me, he's like, yo, is this just a little summer job for you? I was like, yeah, man, I go to UGA. I want to be a music producer. He was like, oh, I got some connections for you. Let me get your number.
You're listening to Angry Digital, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a thriving and successful brand powered by Angry Digital Inc. I'm your host, Eshan Ravuri, and I'm here today with Ash, 808 Mafia Ash. Our featured guest today went from being the woodwind section leader in marching band and the rugby team captain in high school. And now he produces under 808 Mafia, the same collective behind Future, Drake, Kanye, Travis Scott. Now, that's not usually how it goes. That's not usually the natural trajectory. It's not the natural pipeline here. So somewhere in between marching band and trap beats, he discovered something special.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about 808 Mafia Ash. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. So it's funny because how I met Ash was I asked one of my boys, Sajaad, to help me with a jingle for Dazzle.
Yeah.
So we had just signed a contract with Howie Mandel, and I had this video, and he ends the video with this loud bling. He throws his arms, he's like bling. So I was like, yo, we have to come up with some crazy social media or some hook, but I want to have a jingle to go with that, to cut into that. So he comes back to me a couple weeks later. He's like, yo, I'm actually with my boy Ash right now. If you want to pull up. So I've never met Ash. Pull up to his place, and he turns this thing on, right? And I hear it. The first, he's like, what do you think about this? I'd painted a picture of what I wanted, and it was spot on, dead on.
Literally titled Rough Draft #1.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that I had made for that.
Literally perfect. And I was like, who are you? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that's it's my boy Ash. He's he signed to 808 Mafia, and that was history.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest people I've ever met.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely talented, incredibly talented producer. So, well, let's get right into it. You're probably wondering how the heck I found out about the woodwind section.
Yeah, that's a cool little pluck. I definitely was in band. I was in all types of band, symphonic band, jazz band, marching band, all this, and even came back afterwards a couple years because my band director had asked me to come run sectionals and do stuff like that for the next year's band, even when I was gone. So I came back and tutored almost all the other students.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I was really heavily involved in band, but the switch, what got me onto producing instead of playing my instrument, because I didn't necessarily want to go to college for music, generally. And I knew that UGA really only had a performance majors. I could have done saxophone performance major, but I didn't really want to do that. And I had taken a music technology class in high school as well. And I learned how to make beats. That was the whole class, how to make beats. How to make beats.
What high school did you go to?
Morgan County.
Morgan County High School.
Yeah.
Best production in the state.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So that's how you discovered,
That's how I discovered making beats.
Wow.
And then I watched thousands and thousands of YouTube videos and ended up getting FL Studio on my own computer at home. Just years of practicing and...
Amazing.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I loved it. And that was a cool way for me to keep doing music without having to keep playing my instrument at the same time.
Fascinating. So, did they give you FL in school?
No,
What
we were
did you guys learn on?
using GarageBand.
GarageBand.
Yeah, GarageBand is where it all started.
So they were Macs. They gave you Macs.
Yeah, we had 2 computer labs. The school had just been recently built.
Yeah. Okay.
My freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was in my old high school building. It was actually like the same high school since probably like the 30s out there in Madison. Wow. And they tore the whole thing down and built a new one behind it. It was where the practice football field was, and even behind the stadium and everything.
Right.
Built a whole new school, and part of getting a new school was 2 new computer labs full of Macs. Yeah.
Wow. I love Macs.
Yeah. I'm now that I'm on FL, it's more geared toward Windows. So
yeah, you use a Windows computer.
Yeah. It's because I use FL 11. I use the old, not the oldest, but a very old version of FL.
Yeah.
That was before Macs were even a thing.
That's crazy. You know, the first DAW I ever used was FL.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a bootleg version of Fruity Loops Studio.
Yeah.
Like maybe 5 or 6.
Right. Yeah, way past. Yeah, I'm on 11, so I wasn't even that old on it, but they say the drums slap harder. It's actually controversy. Like,
no, people freak out about this stuff.
Huge freakouts. I mean, people rage on the internet at each other of which FL is the best. Yeah. Oh, you're dumb. FL 11 isn't even this. Like, there's no difference. Or
is that the DAW? Is that the go-to DAW for trap beats?
FL 11.
It is?
Well, FL in general, but
it
FL
is.
11, if you look at like every industry producer.
Right.
Not
it's FL.
every, but
FL is the go-to
majority, for sure.
Yeah, so all y'all on Logic trying to become trap producers, you're out.
Hey.
Get out.
You can still do it, though. Joji produces on all his songs on GarageBand.
No way.
Every song he records, produces, everything, does it all himself on GarageBand.
That's something crazy that I've seen. I've worked with some very large YouTubers, and the crazy thing is you can have 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and they didn't get there using Premiere Pro and an editor, and they learned everything, usually on a bootleg version of Sony Vegas.
Right.
Or something that was, they could do, whatever they can get their hands on. And today we have access to CapCut. Like, there's so many great free editors out there where it's so easy to just get started. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is to just get started.
Right.
You can't, the worst thing that can happen is not getting started. That is the single worst thing you can do. Biggest mistake, not ever trying. So just start. Your phone's great.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, your phone's great.
It's always worth at least a shot.
Yeah.
Always. So
this is the big burning question. How did the 808 Mafia deal come up on you?
This is actually a cool story. So I was in school, right? Freshman year of college at UGA. One of my friends that I had just come to meet, right down the hall from me, 9th floor, Creswell.
Krusty Creswell.
Oh, yeah. Everybody hates on it, but that's where I met
Creswell
all my friends.
Yeah.
I love it. The building itself might not be the best, but the people in it were always awesome.
Church Hall's the same, too.
So I met this guy, Scrappy.
Yeah.
He was rushing a fraternity. I didn't rush a fraternity, one, because I was kind of in the mindset of like, I don't need to pay to make friends here. Like, I'm extroverted and social enough to where I can go make friends myself.
Right.
I don't need to pay a dues to be able to make friends. But also, I just really didn't have that much money either. So, maybe that was my self-convincing.
How expensive is a frat?
It depends on which one you're in. The one that I ended up being in was like $1,200 a semester for dues, and then they had senior brother dues. The big ones, you could pay $3,000 to $5,000, but it's usually because their formal trip is included in the price of their dues. We had to pay dues, and then if we went on any trips or did anything like that, we would pay separate from those dues.
Yeah. So you were saying, how did you end up getting into wanting to be in a frat?
Well, I saw Scrap join it, and was watching him through the pledgeship process, all that stuff, and he really loved it. He really loved it, and he kept trying to get me in it. But he was respectful about it. Hey, look, I know why you're not in one right now. I know why you didn't rush. But like, let's say you did have the money. Would you do it? I was like, sure. And at this time, he had already gotten into the frat. He was on the rush committee. So he was low key rushing me. Like he didn't even, like, I didn't even pick up on it. But he offered me a bid. I was like, you know what? Sure, let's do it. Well, the problem was my parents were helping pay my tuition, but they said if you do anything outside of that, that's on you.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a job. I didn't make any money. I committed to this frat thing now. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go get a job. I'll get a job during the summer. I'll figure it out. And then when I get back in, I'll be able to pay dues, go to class, do all that stuff, whatever. So I got a job valeting cars at the Ritz Carlton.
Yeah.
Over the summer. So I got hired seasonally. I worked end of May to beginning of August. Racked up some money. I mean, it was nice. It was a perfect job for in the summer. And then ended up being able to pay my dues. But during that job in the summer, it's a cool thing working at the Ritz. You know, it's a vacation spot for.
No way. You met a connect at.
I met a connect through the Ritz.
Wow.
I parked his car.
Why I've been wondering, like, what is it about the Ritz that holds you down so long?
Yeah. I met my connection at the Ritz. I parked his car. It was a black Jaguar F-Pace. Still remember it. He gets out saying that he was late for a reservation at the steakhouse. We got a steakhouse on property, and asked me if he could get a golf cart ride to it real quick just so that he could hop out and go to dinner real quick, whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure. He gets out. I get him on the golf cart, and we're taking off over to the steakhouse. And he asked me, he's like, yo, is this just a little summer job for you? I was like, yeah, man, I go to UGA. I want to be a music producer. He was like, oh, I got some connections for you. Let me get your number. So I start to give him my number. He gets a phone call, probably from the guy who I later ended up meeting, he was meeting at the steakhouse. He gets a phone call. He's like, hold on, I got to take this. Right in the middle of me giving him my number. So I was like, oh, man, that sucks. He gets off the cart. He's still on the phone, and he kind of puts the phone away from his ear, and he goes, as soon as I get back up, once I'm done with this reservation, I'll get your number from you. We'll trade out contacts. Well, the whole time in my head, I know that I'm about to be off in 15 minutes. Oh, I still remember what car he drives, though. So I rode back up to the front. I grab a sticky note. I write my name and my number and all this stuff on a sticky note, and I go drive down to his car. I pulled his keys, and I stick the sticky note right in the middle of his dashboard, like right on the screen of the Radiohead, like right in the middle of his thing. And then I went home. I was like, oh, hopefully if he leaves, he sees the sticky note and ends up reaching out. Maybe he'll still be there tomorrow when I come to work, right? So I get there tomorrow, and I get out on the front drive. I'm starting to work, and I see him come out with some luggage, and he's got his daughter next to him, whatever. And I tell him, I'm like, look, just so you're not surprised by it, you're probably going to see a sticky note on your dashboard with my name and number and everything. But I figured since I see you right here now, I'll just go ahead and do this in person. And he's like, oh, man, I love that. That shows initiative, this and that,
I was going to say, yeah.
So we end up trading contacts, and he immediately texts me. At this point, I'm very small, still learning a lot on how to make beats. Yeah. Still refining my sound and, like, everything that comes along with that. But I guess he heard something. I mean, he really was for it, as far as our connection. And he even bought a couple of my beats just to show, I guess, that he was serious. Like, I sent him some beats. Send me some stuff. I sent him some stuff. And then he's like, oh, what's your Cash App? I've got an artist that I'll probably throw these toward. Just let me throw you some money for it. Right? It was cool. It showed me that he was serious at the same time that, we're building this connection. It was a cool little moment. That was the first beat I'd really ever sold too. Like,
wow.
Wow.
That's amazing, dude. Like, okay, For those of you listening, I'm just saying, take a moment and listen to Ash. Okay, we're gonna put a link to his beats and we're gonna play it right now. And there's a difference between just a beat pack and one that moves you. Okay, there's no surprise to me that like this guy just heard his beats and we're like, I'm gonna Cash App you for it, like connect you with Southside or whoever ended up getting you to Southside.
Right.
Just to reinstate, this is, I'm not sure if it is the largest, but it is one of the largest in the world when it comes to producing.
Absolutely.
Period.
Especially in the
beats.
trap genre. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're top of the game.
They're A tier. You don't just make it in front of 808 Mafia, like not just anybody. So you have to be really gifted. So that's amazing.
Yeah. So at this point, I had no idea who his connection was. I just knew that he had told me that he had somebody he wanted to introduce me to. But that introduction never ended up happening for a couple months. At this point, I'm back in school again. I'm playing pool in the frat house. I ended up rushing and joining the frat and everything. I'm
What frat?
in. It's called Phi Kappa Theta.
Okay.
Smaller one is, but they got the house on Millage. It's a cool little thing. They're growing.
Yeah.
I think when I joined, there were like maybe 50 members.
Okay.
Now they're at like 120. So like it's building. It's cool. It's cool to see that process too. But I was in their frat house playing pool. I get a phone call. It says, oh snap! I haven't talked to him in a while. Answer the phone. He's like, hey, I got somebody who wants to talk to you. Then put me on the phone with who is now my manager, Calvin.
Yeah.
And Calvin's best friend is Southside, but I didn't know this at the time. And so Calvin was like, oh, I've been hearing your stuff. I've been pushing it to these artists, this smaller female artist that just hit on the Apple Music trending music page for whatever. Like, it was just cool little opportunities. And to this, all this is new to me at this point, so it's all cool. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. This is literally what I want to do. Right. Like, I'm starting to see the path forming. Right. I know where I'm supposed to be going. So at this point, a little bit of time goes by, and me and Calvin are still talking. I mean, he's calling me frequently. We're talking all the time. I'm still making new stuff all the time. Like, he's pushing me to make new packs and new loops and just everything. And I get a text from him one day, and I didn't see the text because I was playing FIFA with my roommate. But I saw my phone like light up, and I was getting a FaceTime from him. So I didn't see the pre-text. So I answered the FaceTime, and he's like, hey, I got someone who wants to talk to you. I was like, all right, bet. Put him on.
Like nice of him to like
put him on the phone, let's see it. Who you got?
Yeah.
Flips the phone around. It's Southside. And you can immediately tell. I mean, all these videos that I'm watching on YouTube on how to learn how to make beats, I mean, countless. How to make beats like 808 Mafia, how to make beats like Southside.
Wow.
Like, and he's got tattoos all over his face, and immediately recognizable.
Right.
And, I grew up listening to Future, and probably 80% of Future's discography is all Southside and all 808 Mafia,
100%.
So, I mean, probably from the day I started making beats, in my head, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, how cool would it be to be a part of a label like that,
Yeah.
So he turns the phone around, and it's Southside, and I'm like, oh shit, like what?
Yo.
Right, so I obviously I had to play it cool, so I'm sitting there, oh, what's up, South? Like, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, I've been hearing your shit, like, where you located at? I told him I was going to school at UGA. He's like, oh, that's cool. Let's tap in, start sending me stuff, whatever. Hangs up the phone. I immediately, I'm sitting there in shock. I start jumping up and down on my bed and shit. Like, I mean, I was like a little kid, bro.
That's
like,
so cool, dude.
It was the coolest experience. 2 weeks later, he introduced me to Smat. Smat's been going crazy. He's also signed to 808 Mafia. He's done so many things with Lil Durk and G Herbo, Future, had one on For All the Dogs by Drake, like a bunch of stuff that's coming out. He introduced me to him, started sending him loops, and he even had told me like, oh, if we get a couple placements under our belts, like together, Southside's definitely going to want to sign you. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, let's do it. And literally probably 2 more weeks later, he texted me, yo, I got us a big placement. Can't tell you who it is yet, but the album's coming soon. And like, you know, it's got a crazy feature on it and all these things. It was really cool. And then Ghost. You know, nothing happened.
Then Ghost.
8 months.
Phantom.
8 months down the road. Not a single thing
8 months,
happened.
not a text.
Not a text, not a call.
You didn't follow up.
Nothing.
Nothing. You just stay silent.
Yeah. And I was reaching out like, hey.
That's actually good.
Has anybody heard anything about it? Like, nobody was answering me.
Wow.
Nothing. And then out of nowhere, 8 months down the road, Calvin calls me. Yo, I'm about to put you in a call with this guy named Tony. He's on the legal team for 808 Mafia. Check your email inbox. There's a contract, like all these things. And come to find out later, it was because Southside was working on a Latina, like a Latin X 808 Mafia collab album. I don't know who the artist was still to this day, but apparently a bunch of my loops had been used. And I guess that was the push to be like, okay, this kid is actually going to start doing something. Like, let's get him. But yeah, I mean, it was a really cool process. But I mean, this whole thing, like the whole story I just told you spans over probably a year and a half, 2 years.
Wow.
So it was a process for sure.
That's crazy.
But it all came from the Ritz.
Dude, they heard something. Like, it's like they heard something and it's not a question.
Right.
Like, for me, I wanted to pursue music when I was younger because it's something that came to me effortlessly. Like, I was always on a piano.
Right.
That was my form of stimulation. You know, it was like, my parents would say it was like constant. It would be constant. Like, I would be obsessed, like trying to learn one thing, obsessed with it. And, yeah, so like my heart beats music, and it's something that I'd always knew, like, was never going to be something that's not a part of me. So going into school, like, initially I wanted to do production, but ended up doing business in the music production minor, music business minor, sorry. But now, I mean, I realize that I can do business and still have a passion for music and still better myself as a musician.
Absolutely.
But if I were to do music as a career, I feared like I'm gonna lose that passion.
Right.
So I didn't want to do that, and also because there's two things, you know, I'm the type of person that like I can't work 9 to 5 for somebody else, but I can work 9 to 9 all the way around the clock, 24 hours for myself, even if I'm making $1 a day.
Absolutely.
The only other thing I could do is music, where I wouldn't care how much I made, but I would enjoy it. I could die happy.
Right.
So from somebody who loves music, hearing your production for the first time, I was like, it moves me, like physically moves me.
Right.
And it doesn't take more than a second to feel that. It doesn't happen. Like it doesn't happen with just anything. So it was fascinating to see what you did with Sajaad. Because Sajaad, I've seen him turn into Sajaad, and his journey, his progress, like he's in the works, right? Grinding, like professional soccer player to pro musician.
Right.
That journey was long. It started even here. It was right here that we did our first merch shoot. And like, he was like, yo, like, I want you, can you help me? I'll pay you, like whatever. Like, I was like, I mean, I started working with him and I was like, dude, I'm not taking money from you. Like the things like, I knew he has a journey to go. But the amount of commitment he had in his eye, I was like, he's going to make it whether he likes it or not with that kind of dedication.
For sure.
And he's going to make it.
He's one of the more driven people I've ever met in my life.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Bro always has a flyer in his back pocket.
Yeah, just
always
in
has a
case.
flyer. Like every single time I see that man, he's putting flyers anywhere I am. We meet at Tate, flyers. Where we meet at Atlas, flyers, like
Right.
everywhere.
Right.
That's like he's a marketing pro.
Yo, yeah.
I tell him that all the time. He's like, "Ah, nah," and I'm like, "Yes, dude, you're cooking it."
Most definitely. I mean, he's got the most commitment to what he wants to do that I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's in his eye. He puts me back in my place, my laser. Every time I
Right.
fall off the track, you need people like that to push you back.
I always say the same thing. Like, if I'm not feeling like making beats, or if I don't really want to do anything, I just got home from work or whatever. You know, he's always, "Oh, what are you doing? You know, come to my place. Let's do something. Let's make something." You know, so I mean, his drive starts to drive me just because I'm like, "Oh, I can't let this guy outrun me." You know, like I have to. You know, he's outworking me right now. I need to match. You know, or I need to be on my shit because he's so on his. You know,
Absolutely, he's not going to stop.
right,
He's relentless.
right,
Think about that. He was a pro player for soccer.
for sure.
I mean, I played soccer for fun, like
Right.
little baby leagues, right?
Right.
Then I ran cross country track up to college.
Yeah.
Didn't run college, but I mean, running our school won state 2 years in a row. Like, that's a level of competitiveness. Waking up, running 70 miles a week, it's not good for you. That's 2 a day. That's 2 times a day. Like, it takes discipline.
Right.
I can't imagine what it's like to play till you're like 25,
Oh,
26. And he did
crazy.
it. He went all the way around the world. He lived in Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
in Amsterdam, multiple places. We had him on the podcast, first episode, actually.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and he got Sikkim played
At the stadium.
at the stadium.
Yeah.
University of Georgia's football team.
That was the second song we ever did together.
Yes. So I heard Sikkim, and that's
Yeah.
when I knew. For the first time, I was like, yo, you need to actually, like, listen to me. Because, I mean, he listens to me, but he doesn't, he knows what he's doing, like, really well. He sees the vision, and he locks in. But I hear it. I'm like, whoever produced this song is different. Okay. Like, he was just like, yeah, you know, he's just like, yeah. And I'm like, listen, dude, this is different. I was like, this is different, bro. And Sikkim, you got to push it. Like, he's like, I know you don't want to, like, just be the person who did Sikkim, but this is your way to get that first PR.
Right.
Red and black. They played at the stadium. You know,
Yeah.
we were able to get that. It stages. Now, with musicians, that's the one thing. I just met this guy that came from the music realm and now is doing stuff with, like, Formula One and stuff in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I was talking to him, and I was like, you know, there's only one niche that I have yet to been able to wrap around my thumb with how to do this with music. You know,
It's a hard one.
done it with gamers. I've done it with brands ground up, diamond companies, watch companies. They say watches are the most competitive niche. I have 2 watch companies,
Right.
ground up.
I didn't even know it at the time, but I have one of your watches.
You do.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, like, he was like showing me his watches, and I was like, yo, that's one of mine. But
Crazy.
yeah, so, like, he was, and I thought he was going to be like, oh yeah, it's really hard. He was like, no, I beg to differ. He was like, I was in the music industry up till I came to Atlanta. He was like, I did that. My entire career was in the music industry. He's like, it's definitely possible. We're going to have Keith on the podcast in 2 weeks, so make sure to follow up with that episode. Not going to spoil any sauce there, but yeah. Okay, so in order to make it as a musician, I noticed there's some stuff that is unconventional in today's day. It's no longer I have to get discovered, because everybody has talent. Talent is talent, but there's something called the it factor. You need to have the it factor. And I've seen that Sony will sign, like, they have a development program. The people that have the it factor don't have the it factor when you think of symphonic band
Right.
leading the woodwind section.
Right.
It's a personality, a charisma, a feeling that they create. Mm-hmm. That's the it factor. For you, you have the it factor. Definitely. But you also have the woodwind section.
Right.
Leader.
Right.
How much do you think that has a role in your productions? The technical background.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know, see, it's one of those really cool things that I think making beats is so cool because anybody can do it. And that's one of the biggest parts is, you don't have to have
I beg to differ.
Music theory or anything like that.
I beg to differ. Anyone can't do it, though.
I think to an extent, because it's a hobby before it's a job, I feel like.
What do you mean by can't do it?
Anybody can.
Anybody can pick up their computer and make
Anybody
a beat.
can download the software that it requires. Anybody can click in the notes and everything like that. Anybody can do it.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't require a music theory background or anything like that, but it helps.
Yeah.
It helps. It really does. You know, knowing how to read music, knowing how to play an instrument, all these things help a lot. You know, it gives you the technical background that you can apply through learning the software. Now, this is where I say anybody can learn regardless of a music theory background, is because it's really about just knowing the software.
Knowing the software.
If you master FL Studio, you are going to make great beats.
So you have to, basically what you're saying is the software, it becomes an extension of you. You become the instrument, and what you hear in your mind, you're able to put it onto paper.
Right.
Love that. So for those of you listening, pick a software, stick with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've tried multiple. Obviously, I learned how to on GarageBand, which is free, you know. So if anybody ever wants to try making beats, bro, get a free software. Try it out. Learn what you're doing. Know how to put audio files into a DAW. Learn anything like that. You know, take a free one and learn it before you dump $200 into the producer edition of FL Studio or something like that.
It's probably harder to start on FL Studio's producer edition. So like your barrier of entry is going to be so high, and like being able to connect with what's in your head, putting that on paper. Charlie Puth does it with his phone. Like he literally gets his phone, he gets voice memos open, and he's like,
and he uses Pro Tools, which is a strictly recording software.
Yeah, that's crazy. By the way, like using Pro Tools is probably the most like difficult way to
do it. But it's just like that's his process.
Because most producers use samples.
For sure.
He makes his.
Also, what you got to think about too when you're picking one is what genre of music you want to get into. If you want to go hip hop, there's not a better DAW than FL. If you want to go pop or country or rock or anything like that, you have a couple to pick from. You know, Logic is a great one. Ableton is a great one. EDM. Ableton is the one to use for like EDM. You know, so EDM. Each genre of music has a DAW that is more suited toward that, you know?
Yeah, it's not that you can't use FL to create.
Right. It's just the other ones are going to make the process a lot more streamlined.
There's MIDIs that interfaces that go well with Ableton.
Right.
Whereas with FL Studio, you could literally use a mouse. Logic comes native on a Mac.
Right.
But everything runs well on a Mac. That was a big barrier of entry, like back in the day. Imagine having iLok. Like, we don't even think about iLok today.
Right.
Yeah, so like today we have such an ease of access to things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's almost a bad thing for people getting started, because now we have the opposite of what you and I had growing up. Like, for me, it was a hobby. For you, it turned into something you're doing big time, right? But just being able to get foot in the door to try it. Because for me, it was just like, I want to get this in, like, I want to be able to hear this in my head on this, or this piano piece I'm recording. I want to learn to loop it. Mm-hmm. I want to be Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be able to to be able to do that, like, today you can do it with your iPhone.
Right. I agree. There's so many different things that you could use, or different just methods to go about doing it, that it kind of makes it hard when you sit down and you're like, okay, I want to start doing this. and you look at all the ways that you can do it, and then you're like, oh, I don't even know which one to pick. You know, it does get kind of difficult. That's how it is with me in content creation right now. It's like you said earlier, the best thing to do is to just start doing it, because the worst thing to do is to not do anything.
Yes.
But at the same time, you sit there and you look at it and you're like, oh, damn, like, do I use CapCut? Do I use this? Do I use this? Do I record it with my phone? Do I have to buy a camera? Do I have to do these things? Yeah, I do, yeah.
Have you made a video?
Yeah, I've got a couple shorts up on it, for sure.
Okay, because I want to link your channel to this podcast.
Yeah.
For everyone to check out and hear your works.
For sure.
Because when you have that it factor, that talent, you don't even have to have the it factor, guys. You can build the it factor. You can get the it factor. The it factor is the fact that you'll do it.
Yeah.
Because just that, charisma is like engineerable. You can engineer charisma.
Right.
Like, I'm going to move this cup to the right. Next, I'm going to put it back.
You just engineered that.
Yeah. It's knowing what you're going to do next.
Right.
Certainty in what you're going to do next. And you don't get that. You don't master that by not doing it. So if you're going to make a YouTube video and it's going to be shit, good.
You made a YouTube
YouTube video.
Yeah.
Great. Get the shit out of your system.
Right.
Make a bunch of YouTube videos that are shit. Great. You can be the guy that makes shit YouTube videos.
It's the same thing with everything. When I started making beats, I made shit beats.
Of course.
Like my first beat ever, I would never, ever show
Nobody
to
comes out of the womb, cuts their own umbilical cord,
right?
Fucking gets up and starts walking.
Right.
Not even Usain Bolt fucking did that.
Right. Nobody. You got to start somewhere, everywhere.
Yeah, there's a first step.
Right.
Always a first step. And our bodies are incredible. They learn. They learn so much things that we don't even want them to learn. So it's really important who you surround yourself with. Parents told me that all the time.
Right.
But now I really understand that that is the biggest weapon. You can either hurt yourself, hold yourself back, simply by choosing who you decide to put into your mind. Today with YouTube, we have feeds that are saturating your mind with like content, and it's sticking inside of you. And then you surround yourself with people, and those people are not in the same mindset that you are, and you wonder why you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You're stuck because you're sitting on epoxy.
Right.
Yeah, like stop putting epoxy on your seat and you won't be stuck. No, but like the epoxy, I doubt that's going to really hold me back. I'm going to be sitting in the seat to produce anyway.
You're still stuck.
You're still stuck.
Right.
Yeah. So if you, like, some people are like, but I don't have the luxury, or I don't have the, I'm not as lucky to be able to even get into step one. You have legs.
You're right. Yeah.
If you don't have legs, you have a mode of transportation. Like,
right.
Because if you made shit YouTube videos every day for the next 2 years, and it's people shit on you every single day for the next 2 years, at some point they're going to realize that they look stupid.
Right.
Because this person made it for 2 years, he did this. So maybe there's something here that is respectable. Right. They respect the hustle.
Right.
You're going to see people going to start supporting you just because they're inspired by how driven you are. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you did it for 2 years. Anything. Any single thing.
Right, you're going
to be really good at it.
Yeah, you're going to start to learn.
You're going to be really good at it.
Right.
Because that's the human nature.
Right.
Just like you didn't come out of the womb walking. But you can freaking walk just fine.
I can walk
people
super good.
You don't see people just like falling over when they walk
right.
randomly. They don't forget how to walk.
I can walk so good.
But it took how many years for a kid to start learning to walk?
Months.
Yeah. Usually 2 years.
Yeah. To walk really good.
To walk really good.
To walk really good.
It took Usain Bolt how long to learn how to walk really fucking good, you know?
Right.
Okay. Everyone can do it. The thing is, if you can get as good as you are at walking, at anything,
right,
your body just learns. It's going to learn by not doing it perfectly, by making mistakes. And that's something that I learned from Andrew Huberman. The brain's neuroplasticity. Your brain has the ability to change and adapt over time. It's the beauty of the brain. And making mistakes is a stimulus for that change to occur. Our brain doesn't just change in real time, unless you're like a kid. Kids' brains can you can imprint in real time, trillions of neurons fire and wire together and they change. That doesn't happen for adults. There's only 2 times that your body changes and your brain's able to change. It's like when you're sleeping at night during dreamless state of sleep. That's when those changes occur. So it's when you're sleeping that you learn. The learning actually occurs, not when you're doing the practice. So that's why when you sleep on it, wake up, you're better at it the next day.
Right.
Yeah. So the other thing that causes real-time change is making mistakes. Because your body's equipped to learn from failure. So by being afraid of failure, which psychologically hurts 2 times more than actually failing. Isn't that crazy? The thought of failure hurts 2.5 times more than actually failing.
Right.
But you cannot feel any of the pleasure of future success.
If you're scared of failing in the first place.
You can't feel any pleasure. You cannot think about a future success and feel the pleasure of it. 0. But you can feel 2.5 times. You can feel 2 times the pain of future failure, which is why we have analysis paralysis. So it's here to protect you. Biologically, it is. You don't want to go stick your hand in a fire twice.
Right, because you learned that first time.
You learned the first time.
Right.
So the fear of making a mistake is what's holding you back, guys. The fear of making a mistake is what's holding you back. So go make mistakes. Now, don't be an idiot.
Right.
Don't go put your hand in a fire.
If you know
that's
better,
gonna hurt.
if you know better and still do it, that's not a mistake.
Fail quick, learn fast.
Right.
Yeah, and move on. Quicker you can do that, the quicker you get into a cycle of learning, adapting, changing your patterns, learning, adapting, changing, quickly optimizing. But that's a power tool. It's a power tool. So just get started. Do it wrong. Go do it wrong. Don't be afraid to do it wrong. But when you do it wrong, learn from that. See what you did wrong, and then try again. So what instruments did you play?
Saxophone. Alto sax was my one, but I've played all of them. I've played saxophone on a couple of my beats. It's a cool thing knowing how to play an instrument, because then you can start incorporating it into the production. That's why next is piano for me.
I love it.
Next, because I want to be able to sit down.
I can teach you piano if you want me to teach you
piano.
I know.
I'm going to hold you to it. First time I ever went to your place, you played some piano for me and told me that you'd teach me. And I haven't forgotten.
Wow. You're holding me to it. I like it.
I am.
I forgot.
I'm going to.
I will teach you piano 100%. So on the next podcast episode that we have, Ash is going to be back playing the piano.
I'll play Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars.
He's going to be playing, there's a
playing Moonlight Sonata.
Flight of the Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah. Flight of the Bumblebee.
I can learn by ear, right?
Yeah.
So, but still have to learn the mechanics, and I'm glad that I did.
For sure. Yeah, that's the thing that I've learned, because I've tried to pick up guitar, too, and my method of picking up guitar was just learning songs that I liked hearing, learning how to play the songs, but the downfall in that is that I wasn't actually learning any technique or any proper, anything. I was just playing these songs, so rather than playing guitar, I could play this song on guitar. It's different. It's different. Right now I can play Moonlight Sonata on the piano. I can't play piano though. It's different. It's
what do you
different.
mean?
Learning how to play a song on an instrument and learning how to play the instrument are completely different.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. 100%. Yes. Right. I want to teach you on a grand piano.
Okay, let's do it.
So, no, but that's a really good point you make. I want you to explain this to me like I know nothing. Okay? What does it mean to produce under 808 Mafia? Are you signed? Are you affiliated? Being mentored? How does that work? And, yeah.
So I am signed to 808 Mafia. Southside is the one who signed me. He's also the founder. At the time, it was co-founder. Now he's a sole founder. It was Lex Luger that was the co-founder with him back in 2008, or when Waka Flocka was going big and everything like that. But yeah, so Southside signed me to his label, 808 Mafia. And from there, it means more mentally to me than it has meant physically.
It should.
I mean, that is a huge thing.
It's a huge deal.
And it was something that I'd always wanted. You know, like I said, I mean, I listened to all types of music, but back when I started producing, my biggest inspirations for my music were 808 Mafia.
Of
that
course.
sound. I mean, March Madness by Future.
He created that
and,
sound.
Fuck Up Some Commas by Future, and like all these songs, I was like, oh man, these beats, they, like you said earlier, they move you. Like they like
move
you
you.
can't listen to it without bobbing your head or
Absolutely
doing
not,
something.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, I gotta make beats like these. So it definitely means more mentally than physically, and you know, it's a cool opportunity. I'm very grateful for the opportunity because since being signed, I've been in a bunch of studios. I've met a bunch of other A-list producers, A-list artists.
Tell me more about these rooms.
Yeah,
the people that are there, and yeah.
So my very first studio session that I ever went to was with Smat in Miami. And it was a La Tyler session that Trippie Redd pulled up to.
Cool.
That was my very first studio session ever, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Were you nervous?
No.
No?
The crazy part about my journey so far is regardless of who I'm in the room with, I never really get nervous. And that's not like I'm such a macho man, like all this and that, whatever. I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm a tough guy. Like, I just don't get nervous in the sense of I know what I'm doing and I have confidence in my own skill.
Right.
And I know that, especially in the level of rooms that I'm in, I wouldn't be there if I'm not supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You know, so that keeps me from getting nervous.
For sure.
You know, because I just have to be confident in myself and know why I'm there. I'm there because they invited me.
Yeah, you're not afraid to show your works.
Right. Yeah. You know, so.
It's like, why are you here? Oh, here, listen to this.
Right.
Oh, crap.
Right.
Free promo.
Right. And I have had somebody try to impress me on that one time. I was at a studio set. It was A2F in Miami. I was in a session, and I was in B room, because the artist that was there recording for his album that came out a while ago, he was in A room. I was in Southside's room because he was bouncing back between B and A room, because he would come make beats in B room, go to A room and executively produce what was going on in there. And next thing you know, it was Destroy Lonely walks down the hall. And he hears me making beats in B room because Southside was in A room. And he like peeks his head in. He's like, "This you?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm in E room or F room or whatever room. Go load my engineer up with some beats." So I take my hard drive into E room and give it to the engineer. I'm like, "Hey, just take the beats in this file. Destroy Lonely told me to come in here and do that." Well, while I was in there, another producer that was there, I guess who was like his main producer, was like, "Yo, what's your name, bro?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm Ash." He was like, "Yeah, so like, who are you here with?" I'm like, "Southside."
Yeah.
Like, I'm here with Southside. I'm one of his producers.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. He sits back down on the couch. It was like a weird experience. So I go back to my room and I tell Calvin and Too Dope and all these other folks that are in there. And they start laughing. They're like, he's probably just intimidated, this and that. But I thought it was hilarious. I mean, that was because I had met him 4 hours earlier while I was walking into the studio with Southside. It's like, you know me. I introduced myself to you. You know who I am. You know who I walked in with. You saw me.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just cool.
You don't take any drugs, period. Like, you know, that scene is flooded with dope. I mean, everyone's high all the time on multiple things. But you produce sober.
Yeah. I was even told one time by Southside, he was like, "Man, I don't know how you do it." And I kind of looked at him and told him back. I was like, "I don't know how you do it," you know, like. But then he looks at me on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
He's like, How are you even still up in the studio making beats without drinking at least? Like, how are you doing that?
Very cool, dude.
Right. It's not even like a thing. Like, I don't do it.
It's a normal thing for you. Yeah, it's not like a thing.
It's normal. I don't have to sit there and try not to do anything. I just don't. Like,
how do you think your job at the Ritz Carlton has played a role in that?
Well, it has, because you know, I never had the opportunity to really start doing drugs because they drug test. Yeah. If you crash a car, say I were to crash any car, it doesn't even have to be the Ferraris or these and that, whatever. If you crash any car there, the first thing they do is drug test you.
Absolutely.
They also drug test you to even get the job.
Right.
And then on top of that, they continuously run background checks on your driving records to ensure that you're still apt to drive for their company.
Right.
So if I had any slip up at work and or outside of work, that's a problem.
Wow.
Now I'm not making money. You know, now I can't pay my bills. You know, so it was always more of like it's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care to try. You know, I know most people say, "Oh, don't knock it till you try." I don't even care to try.
Right.
It's not something I want to get into.
No, I respect that a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean, that's no hate towards people who are in the production scene. I
always would this is funny. I would always tell Southside and them, I would always say that I played rugby for UGA and that they drug test on the team.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be the like weird little kid that was always in the sessions like, "Oh, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs."
Yeah, you were the team captain for your high school rugby team, weren't you?
But yeah, anyway, I did use that as an excuse though. Because I didn't want to be not cool. I wanted these guys to think I was cool, so they'd want to keep inviting me to sessions and everything. You know, so I didn't want to feel not cool, or I didn't want, not that drugs are cool, but
that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
I didn't want them to judge me for it, so I was always like, "Oh yeah, the rugby team drug test me. I can't do drugs with you. I'm sorry."
Well, I still want to come back to this topic here, where how many producers are on 808 Mafia?
You know, I'm not sure the exact number. There's a lot of smaller producers, a lot of bigger producers. There's also producers that I'm
more
not,
or less than 1,000.
Less. I mean, I would say probably around 50 to 100.
50 to 100.
If max. That. I mean, max maybe 50.
Yeah, because what is known, this is trap. Everyone wants to be a trap producer in high school, right? Southside is notoriously picky. Mm-hmm. Notoriously picky. Yeah. He's very selective, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
The guy knows music.
Right.
He doesn't matter whether he's high making music or he's sober making music. Does not matter. It's damn good. Mm-hmm. It's damn good.
Absolutely.
So to be able to be seen, heard, that says a lot. So
right.
Eminem, you only get one shot. So that opportunity only comes once in a lifetime.
Right.
What are you going to do with this?
Half of me thinks that I got signed at a bad time. And then the other half of me thinks, any time would have been a great time. Make the most of it. But part of me, because when I got signed, I was in school and a class took up a lot of obligation. I'm also when I got signed, I was super broke. Nobody was paying for these flights to Miami and stuff like that until Calvin started picking up on that for me as my manager. But it felt more like a handout. Like, "Oh, I don't want you to miss out on this. Like, here's $200, get a flight," that sort of thing. But
showing up is really important.
Right. I mean, there were times where I drove down to Miami. It's a 12-and-a-half-hour drive from Athens to Miami, and I would drive it just to be there. And, that shows something, too. They would see that, and they'd be like, "Bro, nobody has ever driven
that's
12-and-a-half hours to go somewhere."
I want to know, how do we take on a new approach to get people like you exposure, to be able to show the world the talent, that show the world like how cool these works are. You know,
it's an interesting one because even me being in a position, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I feel like it happens differently for everybody. There's this guy on YouTube that I always used to watch. His name's KBZ. KBZ is now an industry producer, but he started on YouTube making tutorials. His first ever placement came from posting a YouTube tutorial on how to make beats like so-and-so, and then that person saw it and reacted to it on their Instagram story. Next thing you know, he swipes up, because he saw it on their story. He swipes up, yo, that was me, like, thanks for the love on the video. And he goes, send the FLPs, the project files. Send the project files for that one that you were working on the video. I'm going to work on it, send it out. Next thing you know, he's got a Chief Keef placement from posting a tutorial video on YouTube. And you got me. I was working at the valet at the Ritz Carlton. Not even a related job.
That's a crazy story, by the way.
Now I'm signed. You know, so it happens so differently for everybody in it that it's
time
really...
and place.
Right.
It's all about the connections.
That's what I always say is music is 20% actual music and 80% who you know and where you're at and who you affiliate with and everything like that. It's all connections. 80% connections, 20% music.
Do you think in that golf cart, if you had met that guy, and then, by the way, the fact that you wrote a note says a lot. It really does. That says a lot. He probably would not have listened to anything. Like, you happened to run into him, right? So had you not wrote that note, maybe you would have run into him still, but it was already made to happen.
Right.
But the fact that you wrote that note says a lot. And that's all it takes is a sticky note. You know, a handwritten note, if you're doing e-commerce, those first 100 orders, write a note.
Oh, yeah, and put it in
there. Yeah. Sajaad, every piece of merch he's ever given me has a handwritten note.
Right.
So cool.
It goes a long way. It shows that you actually care.
It does.
That's another thing too. Now that you see a lot as a producer, that has a little bit of motion. A lot of people send me emails. I've got 3 completely full email inboxes of loops and people reaching out trying to get
you should
placement
collaborate
opportunities.
with them.
No, I do all the time.
Yeah.
I do. I use loops as much, if not more, as I make my own melodies. Like, I do it all, but I use loops a lot because I love the aspect of collaboration, which is I feel like is somewhat lost now, but not even at the same time. So a lot of people are getting upset that there's 4, 5, 6 producers on the same beat. Because that means that you have to split.
Bro, I can help
part.
you to the extent that I can help you, right? But I want to see you start a YouTube channel and share that passion you have, because you're very passionate.
For sure.
And I think the community is going to really appreciate that. I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to benefit from this, and I think the world deserves to see that, because you're also a very down to earth person and genuine. So you have that it factor, and I think you're going to be very successful. Like in the YouTube scene, I think people would really enjoy your videos. I would love to see a collaboration, for example, with Kyle Beats.
Oh yeah. I used to watch his stuff all the time. I mean, there's so many YouTube producers that I would always watch.
Yeah, I think
he was one of them.
If, for example, you were to work with Kyle Beats, that would be an incredible collaboration. I think there would be so much content that would come out of that, and music that would come out of that. Stuff like that, just like putting yourself in a position to where it's possible.
Right.
So Kyle, if you're watching this,
I'm
Ash.
here.
808 Mafia Ash.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I love collaboration, is because it's all about music. I mean, music is all about the music itself. You know, for me, I'm very passionate about it. I love it. Also, I picked music as an occupation. Like, at first it was a hobby. Now I want to do it as for a living forever, because at least in my opinion, the to 100 short years on Earth that we have is wonderful, and I'm gonna enjoy every day of it. But if one person listens to one of my songs after I die, I've extended my lifespan.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it means more to me because I've been able to now live through my music as well as live through me, you know?
I love that. You know, like Taco Bell, Canon and D. Mm-hmm. Cheers to the ones that we got.
Right.
Literally living on through Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Because it's been, 70 years after he dies that you can use the open source?
Yeah, 70.
70 years? Yeah.
I think so.
Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. So that's the goal. 70 years after you die,
right?
You still want that song to be used by people.
To
be like, he died 70 years ago.
Right.
Beethoven.
Right. Yeah, you know? Yeah. But, yeah, also, I mean, music has so much emotion in it, too. Like, you can relate to something that...
Oh, my gosh.
Like,
it
so
makes you
heavily...
feel something.
Right.
Makes you feel the feeling of what you're feeling.
People say it all the time. Oh, this song saved my life. You know, it's something like that. That would mean a lot to me too. You know, I've been able to impact someone so heavily that they either made or didn't make or whatever a huge decision that could have been really bad because of something that I composed or I wrote or.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like, you know, if you go through a breakup, you're going through like hard times in life.
Right.
Think about the song by The Fray. Where did I go wrong?
Right.
I lost a friend. And
right.
Tell me you don't feel something.
Right. I mean, there's so many out there. There's a good song for every emotion that you feel.
Oh, yeah. The Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
They have a lot of them. Mm-hmm. They have a song for every point in your life, literally.
For sure.
Yeah. That's amazing, dude. So tell me what's, you know, working with Sajaad, and I might have had a little bit to force you guys into the situation, and maybe it was uncomfortable, but I want to know what that felt like. You know, you're producers about getting placements and like producing for people. What's the difference between producing for someone and producing with somebody?
Mm-hmm. I think in terms of producing, I would much rather be the producer that builds with an artist than a producer that chases placements. It means more. I mean, think of Nick Mira and Juice WRLD or anybody like that, where out of nowhere you see this artist just pop up and he's massive and, you know, everybody loves his music. You know, it's a huge thing. And the whole time, it's the same producer that's building with the artist. Metro's done it with so many people. Pharrell's done it with so many people. You know, you get these artists that have the it factor, like what you're talking about, and you're able to help them find their sound as the producer. That's your job. You're there to find or help an artist find their sound and what really pushes them. Or, you know, you're hearing them make this work and you hear that, oh, maybe this chord fits better with this note if you were to sing it like this. Or, I mean, kind of like how you saw it was Icy. You, me, and Sajaad were over at my house and we were making Icy.
I think I was like laying on the ground.
Yeah.
He was like walking around.
Right.
And we're like, wait, hold on.
And the whole time, you know, you're sitting there as the producer and you're finding vocal stacks or you're finding harmonies that fit in certain places that maybe this artist can't quite pick out. But that's your job as the producer, is to produce. You know, you're making this whole movie that comes out in song format. And you help the artist get to that point. I love that. I would rather do that than anything else. Yeah,
it's magical.
Right? You know, having that moment.
It's so fun, dude.
It's so fun. It's the best. So that's one of the reasons why I really like working with Sajaad. Like, regardless of the placements or this or how big is this person compared to this person, I don't care about any of that. At the end of the day, Sajaad is one of my friends. And it's always more fun working with a friend on something creative that both of y'all care about than it is working with anybody, you know?
It's different because you guys are kind of like building on each other. Mm-hmm. It's also different with Sajaad because Sajaad is like, you were watching him turn into, like, he's blooming, he's blossoming,
Right.
he's blooming.
Right.
But what I've noticed with both of you and seeing it, it's like, from the musical mastery side, you have it. You have the musical genius. That's where he doesn't he lacks the musical genius with technicality. But now he's being able to connect the dots. He's going from two different ends.
Right.
Rather than going from book up, he's going from sound in.
Right.
And that's the beauty of a producer, is you can actually connect those dots for him.
Right.
So,
like, he's even been interested recently in some of the sessions that we've done together, of like learning my process, just because he wants to know how to describe a like a sound that he wants, or like, oh, I want a beat with this type of pattern, or I want a West Coast beat.
It's making him
He's starting
know, yeah.
to learn that too. I don't know. At the end of the day, I think that's the difference between a producer and a beat maker. Like, you can make beats,
right?
You're a beat maker, but if you're working with an artist and you're producing their sound, you're a producer. You know, there's a difference for sure.
There's definitely a difference, and like, so Benny Blanco, for instance, he does exactly what you're talking about, is like producing in time with the musician, in real time, hearing what is happening, and even being able to like hear what they're doing and say, hey, I want this like this right now.
Mm-hmm.
That always fascinates me when, like, you know, I've seen clips and stuff. Benny Blanco, I really think that Benny Blanco he gets no credit.
Right.
At all.
Bro, you see all the TikToks all the time. Every one of his
crazy.
TikToks, he plays some old classic, just absolute banger. And he's like, yeah, I made this.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I didn't even know. Like,
it's like when it's actually crazy, because it's like, as having worked with celebrities, like, it's not like that. It's where it's like, you know, it's professionals. Professionals are professionals.
Right.
Everyone is human at the end of the day. Some people desire the attention. Others don't care for it.
Right.
Genuinely don't care for it.
Right.
And the ones that desire the attention cannot wrap their head around that.
Right.
But the ones that don't care about it genuinely don't. Like Julia Michaels. I got issues.
Yeah.
That was on accident.
Right.
Like, I mean, like, that was literally like, hey, like, actually, I want to be the one to put this out. She's probably written so many songs for people before that.
I mean, countless.
Yeah. But it's not until that moment she's like, oh, that's Julia Michaels, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh, that's Benny Blanco.
Right.
It's like, I've been here, guys.
Yeah. I've
been
made
here.
Every song you've ever heard
I've
since
written
2003.
everything.
Right. Right.
Like, people who are not like musically gravitated, or, you know, have some sort of fascination with music,
right,
wouldn't know who Rick Rubin is.
Right.
Rick Rubin is the wizard of music.
Yeah, he's telling you what color your song sounds like.
He's like, Jay-Z, hold on, that's purple.
Yeah,
I wanted to be blue.
Oh, make this one sound orange.
Yeah. Right now it sounds a little bit red.
Right. Maybe like
I love him, dude.
Yeah.
I love him.
I like Benny Blanco's style because he makes you feel so comfortable. Even when you're watching a video or anything like that.
You know what, dude? You remind me of Benny Blanco. Like, I don't know Benny Blanco.
Right.
But seeing him online and like the feeling.
Yeah.
That's what you just brought up is very unique. It's the ability to make someone feel very comfortable, because you can't express yourself.
Right.
When you feel the adrenaline rushing through your body, you're in fight or flight. It's like,
right.
Wait, what? No, like, if you want to be able to flow on a track, like with Sajaad, when you're in flow, creativity runs.
For sure.
You can't create when you're out of flow.
Right.
How do you enter flow? You gotta feel comfortable, and you have that vibe. And I think that's a big deal with like how you give that feeling of, I'll tell you my life story.
Right.
Why not?
And I will. I'm an open book.
Yeah.
All around, you know? But I love that about him too. I mean, you'll walk into his studio, there's plants everywhere. Like, he's got a little bit of a hippie vibe to it, you know? He's barefoot, has these baggy parachute pants on, and he's like probably sitting crisscross applesauce in the middle of his shit with his fingers like this, just like humming to you. He's like, oh, welcome. You know, and you're just like...
He starts floating.
Super, He starts levitating, and water starts swirling around him and shit. Yeah, no, he just seems super down to earth. and makes you feel comfortable. I would imagine. Obviously, I've never met him, but like you said on the internet, those are the vibes that he gives off when he's talking about what he's worked on, or even in interviews or anything like
Benny
that.
or are you talking about
Benny,
Rick Rubin?
Benny.
Both of them. Notice how both
yeah.
have that in common.
Right.
They both have this in common. Because the way you just described it, I had to ask you which one.
Right.
Rick Rubin or Benny?
They're both like that.
Yeah, like you would see, I absolutely could see Rick Rubin with his shoes off,
Right.
floating in a room like,
Right.
welcome,
Right.
child.
Right.
Like,
Welcome to my studio.
yeah.
Make it your home.
Yeah.
You know?
Take a seat
Right.
or don't.
Right. Whatever you want.
Have some fruit
Yeah.
or don't.
Right. Right. No, it's super cool. Super cool. That's what I want to be one day. I want somebody to come to my home studio where I'm at home and make them feel at home. You know
what's crazy, Ash? Like, I want to be that one day. Why don't you be that today? Without any
I am to an extent.
You are.
Like, at a certain level, I am.
I
Sajaad
agree.
comes into my home and records at my home
Absolutely.
and probably feels comfortable and at home at my home.
All these things are like they're variables.
Right.
But you as a person can be that person. And
For sure.
Yeah, and you are. Like the thing is like that's something with you. I'm like you are. You actually are a producer.
Yeah.
There's no BS. It's like here's 10,000 beats that are all produced. I mean beat banger. It's
Right.
like my mind goes insane. Just yeah, I love it. But I definitely want to get you back on here.
Yeah, please.
Because I didn't even make it like a quarter through the stuff that I wanted to ask you. Like, but yeah, I mean, we have to put a wrap on this episode. But your YouTube channel, I want to see it blow up.
Let's do it.
It's not, the goal isn't to blow it up. I want to have, I think it's a disgrace to the works you do. I genuinely like your music. I really like the beats you make. And we already discussed putting it onto a site.
Yeah.
Right now we have beatsonfi.com. beatsonfi.com. And what we're going to do is put together a little collection of beats. We're going to get creative here, make a couple beat packs for you guys to go check it out. And we should give them a little bonus for listening to the episode.
Yeah.
So-
If you made it this far, we got a bonus beat for you. Bonus beat.
Yeah, you get any one of the 3 beat packs completely free. You're gonna use code Angry Digital.
I like it. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, of course.
I really
of course.
enjoyed this. Let's get another episode.
No,
going.
100%. I want to have you back. I have a lot more questions. I also think it'll be interesting. I want to talk to Keith about, in 2 weeks, I want to talk to Keith about this exact scenario and how I could help
Yeah, absolutely.
a producer like yourself and get that exposure from a marketing angle. Because that's something I'm constantly learning. I'm not a master of anything.
Right.
So, yeah, no, the second you become a master of everything is when you become an idiot.
Right.
It's when you start becoming
Right.
the next thing that's going to get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, never get too comfortable. The second you
Absolutely.
become too comfortable, you're going to get eaten. So,
And always give everything a try.
always.
Always.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to today's episode. It's always a pleasure to listen to entrepreneurial stories and hear how they got started. I like to give you guys an inside scoop behind the scenes of all these entrepreneurs' journeys because it's not all pretty flowers all the time. And everybody has their own way of doing it. But I hope you could take something away from this podcast episode. And producers out there getting started, pick a software, just stick with it. And if you're
learn
going
it.
to go inside the route of I'm going to master this end to end, get out of your head with analysis paralysis. FL Studio 11. You heard it from Ash himself.
It's the best one.
So there you go. Make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode, where we're going to be having some creative media specialists here that have had the chance to work with people like Usher and Cardi B. And tons of people. I mean, that's just shy, but like, you're going to want to listen to that episode. So we'll see you next time.
Peace.